Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is, I guess we're in March, so it's my third coffee talk of the year. And today we are going to be talking about Facebook ads and all of their devices. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you have questions, as I said, put them in the chat box and we'll just get going. So I'm super excited to be here. It's a new program that I'm doing online. So if I have any glitches, please forgive me, but we'll see how we do. So pretty excited to be here and I'm happy that you're here with me. So as usual, I want to tell everybody who I am and why the heck I'm talking to you. So I'm Nico Fisher and I own a small social media marketing company on Maui, and I'm the owner and lead project manager. So I really love what I do and I feel like I'm giving back a little bit to the community that has accepted me now for 10 years. So I'm pretty stoked about it. But you can see all the things we do here with a lot of social media. I'm a co-organizer for Maui Business Brainstormers. I'm a SCORE mentor for the Maui Oahu chapter now. We've merged. A co-founder for Maui Social Media School, which is coming back. So I'm really stoked about that. That's happening in April. And I am a board member for the Maui Native Hawaiian Chamber. So I know a few things, I love a few things, and I love teaching. So that's what I'm here to do for you guys today. So pretty stoked about it. So the things that we're going to be covering today are, it's an introduction to Facebook ads and audiences. And so I'm going to go over a few pieces, benefits of creating a custom audience, type of audiences that you have access to on Facebook and Instagram, how ads work online, and then an overview of a Facebook ad. I have some screenshots that I'm going to share with you so we can take a look at, if you want these slides and you want the links in them, just put your name and first and last name and email in the chat box. And I'll make sure you get these slides as a PDF and all the links are going to be live when you get them. So we will go from there. I'm pretty stoked. So here we go. So benefits of a custom audience. So the reason why Facebook has such a way with targeting an audience is because we tell Facebook just about everything. When you sign up for your Facebook page, it asks you a bunch of questions like, what kind of movies do you like? What books do you read? What restaurants do you like? I mean, it just asks you so many questions. When I first started in Facebook and I saw all these questions, I didn't answer one of them because I just didn't feel like it was any of their business. You might be on the one camp where you told them everything, or on the other that you told them nothing. But however long you've been on Facebook with everything that you like, that is a profile. So you might not have told them in the beginning who you are and what you like, but you certainly have if you've been liking things on Facebook, because that's how the ad algorithms work. So it's kind of interesting how it works, but it makes for much better advertising because you can really target and be effective. So the benefits: effective way to drive traffic to your website, to your landing page, to app, whatever it is you're doing, you can drive traffic there. You can customize it greatly, easy setup and fast results. You get results immediately. It's budget friendly, so you get to decide what budget you want to use. Custom calls to action are available and easy to track and measure, and that is the truth. So I'm loving Facebook ads. I've been doing them for a while. And you get results pretty quick. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to take a look at the core audience and the custom audience. The lookalike audience I'm going to share in my class that's coming up on the 23rd of March, because that's a little bit more in depth and you have to have more of a profile to be able to do that. But our core audience is based on basically demographics. So like age, interests, geography, and so many other things, and I'll show you a bit of that. And then a custom audience relates to, let me grab a drink real quick. I got the mug. I don't know if you can see that, but I love it. Anyway, the custom audience relates to people that you have been connected with before. So it allows you to send ads or have your ads placed on the people who like your business page, your people who like your business page and their friends, people who are in a specific area. So the custom audience, both of these audiences are amazing and very detailed. So you can be as restrictive as you want to only fit so many people, or you can be as huge as you want. So depending on what it is you're trying to do, that's where we go. So speaking of things you're trying to do, we're going to talk about some goals. So before you spend money, you want to make sure you know what that goal is going to be. So is it that you want to grow your traffic on your Facebook page, or you want to get more people to your website? Is it creating leads to have people sign up for a newsletter or possibly go to a landing page? Do you want to offer a quick message response and connect with them immediately? So WhatsApp and Messenger are prevalent now in advertising on Facebook and Instagram. So you can have quick messages immediately when people click on a button. So that's really helpful if you want to be front and center. And then you can also just have people follow your page or share a post, watch a video, anything like that. So you need to know what kinds of things you want to happen before you put an ad together. Luckily, we're going to go through that ad process. So for now, let's just look at the types of ads that Facebook and Instagram have. They have the image ad, which is great for products or brands. They have the video. Video adds movement to your page, and we respond to that. Our eyes respond to that. We might not watch the video. We might click on it. We might watch it because it rolls in motion. But it is eye-catching, and you do take note whether you want to turn on the sound, and all of that stuff is up to you. But it is, it's the shiny object that you see on the side of your on the side of your computer. And then we have the carousel ad. Anytime you see a carousel ad, it usually has arrows on the sides, which means that there are more images to look at. So you can go up to 10 images or up to 10 videos in one single ad. So that's huge. I don't know that I would do 10 videos, but we do stories, which are 10-second videos. So you might want to do 10 videos. It all depends on how creative you want to be, but it is totally doable. And this platform gives you that option. And then there's the instant experience, which is when you're looking at an ad on mobile. If you choose the instant experience, it's a full page ad. So it no longer is only just a portion of your page. It jumps to the full screen. So that's really cool if you need that. And if you have beautiful scenery, if you have beautiful people, if you have, clothes, products, whatever it is, this might be for you. And then the collection ad I've never done before. It features a ton of products. And it does open up as the instant experience, but it is it's like a commercial. So that's really cool. I'm not sure the cost of all of that. I know it's going to be greater than what you normally do, but and I'm going to talk about cost in a little bit, but I'm curious to see if you guys do any of these ads. I'm curious to see how it's different for you cost-wise. I don't know that it is, but I'm just guessing that it might be. So let me go here. There we go. So another thing that you need to consider for your ads are, it's the headline. So the headline is one of the hardest to do. And so I do this, I run this all the time. I create a class, and then I make a name for the class. And then I change the name for that class 1 or 2 times because I'm able to think through it. And I kind of look at it that way for advertising. You need to think through it, write it down, say it a few times, think about what that's going to sound to somebody who's actually looking at the ad, and use your words wisely. So aim for 5-word headlines, if that's possible. Use words that connect to the audience. Create a sense of urgency and describe your product with more detail. If you can, you're going to emphasize the sales and deals and other offers. You can do that in the headline or in the copy. Highlight your unique selling propositions or points. You can have a call to action, which is necessary in everything you do, and not necessarily in the headline, because you'll be reiterating that in the copy. But you'll need to do that. And then you could reinforce the message in the text. So the text is really super important. I just sat through a class. I was telling Julie, I just sat through a class on ads from one of the top Facebook ad teachers in the US. And I think that, and I've always thought that the visuals were most important, and that's what's more eye-catching. And as she says, the content is more important. The visuals are great, yes, because you'll capture somebody's opinion, but the copy makes you want to jump in and click. And so that's something that needs to be played with, worked around, and looked at like that. So the next thing you want to think about is how you get charged for Facebook ads. So Facebook is one of the most inexpensive platforms that you can choose to do advertising and create such a nice direct message to the people that you want to see it. So you get to pick the budget, you get to pick the time frame, and you get to pick whether you want people to click on it or just impressions. And impressions are when you see an ad, but no action is required. Both of them are important, and it's something to think about. I'm going to go into that in a little bit. How you're charged for Facebook ads is the pricing of a Facebook ad is based on the auction system. So people who are spending more money are going to get better time frames. So however you are getting your ad in front of people, if you are competing with somebody that's spending a lot more money, you might have different timing. What happens is when you are placing an ad, you click, place the ad, and then your ad sits in a queue, which means that there are a few ads ahead of you that still need to go through before yours needs to go through. And then you need to think about, whether you want to have people click or just see your ad scoot by. So we'll take a look at that for sure. So impressions versus clicks. An impression is the user only sees the advertisement. There is no action needed. And then the engagement is when a click happens or when the user actually follows through with clicking on the ad. And so I like clicks because it allows me to measure how well my ad is doing. If it's just impressions, I'm just looking at numbers that Facebook is giving me. So when I spend money, I want to make sure that I'm having some kind of action happening there. So that's the way I work it. So you might think a different way, and that's totally okay. That's why they have the two options. But for me, I like to know more about the ads. So how those ads work online, they're very much the same way as TV, radio, and mailers. They focus on demographics, on locations and interests, just like regular advertising is. What makes these ads different is that we carry around our phones with us wherever we go. So when we check into Facebook several times, we are more apt to see these ads on a regular basis if you're doing it for a particular amount of time and to a certain audience that you're trying to get to. Whenever I'm online, I'm always seeing ads now. They're coming into my news feed. They're coming into, if I'm on the laptop, they're coming onto the side of my page. But I see them everywhere, and I do click. I'm a clicker. So I'm curious to see what the ads are and how they work. So anyway, what you're going to need to do, first of all, is choose a focus. So this here, you need to choose your focus, decide what you want people to do. Do you want them to click, watch a video, listen to a podcast, have them sign up for a newsletter? You have to have something that you want people to do so you can lead them to where you want them to go. You get to choose an audience. You get to choose an audience, a core audience, a custom audience, or a lookalike, and there are a few others that I'll share. Choosing a photo. I don't know if you've heard a photo or video. I'm not sure if you've heard of A/B testing, but it's really great. It's basically the same ad with two different photos or two different headlines to see which one does best. Whatever one does best, then you can actually put more money into the one that's working better. You need to choose a headline, and we talked about the headlines. Aim for 5 words. in the headline, use words that connect and create a sense of urgency. And then managing, you get to choose the budget and you get to choose the time spent. So it's basically the same as you've done for many other ads, and you have lots of choices. So I'm going to do a few screenshots right now of a post that I'm going to boost. In my other class, I'm going to go into creating an ad and a lot more specifics. But for this class, because of the short amount of time, I'm going to use screenshots to show you how this is done. So basically what you're seeing here is this here is the newsfeed ad. This here is the ad that is on the side of your page when you're looking at a laptop. And then this is the mobile ad. So whatever mobile device you're using, this is how this works. So what's going to happen is there are several ways you can create a Facebook or Instagram ad. The most comfortable way to start out is to use a boosted post, boost an event, or you can create a new ad. We're not actually doing that piece. What we're going to do is boost a post. And so when you click on the top of your page over by your photo, you can create an ad, and this is the ad that shows up. Okay. So what we do normally when we boost a post is if there is a post that's done really well, meaning it's had a ton of engagement, a ton of likes, people are really responding to it, that would be a great post to boost, because the boosted post is you don't have to recreate it. You've already created that post. So all you have to do is boost it, and then you create your audience. So let's go through some of those screenshots so I can show you how that is done. Let me take a drink real quick. All right, so I am sure if you have been on Facebook that you have seen boosted post. Okay, what Facebook wants to do is to sell you advertising, which is their right, and they should do that because it's going to be better for any business who takes part in it. So what this is, remember I told you about the little arrows on the side of the carousel ad. So this is basically a carousel ad that Facebook is putting onto my news feed. And so if I click this button, it's not live right now, but if I were to click that button, it's going to show me more of my posts, because basically Facebook is saying, hey, boost a post. So what I did was I fashioned boosting a post on this particular post that we did. So here's the post, here is the headline, here is the button that you're going to choose, and then up top further is the content that I actually put together, written for that particular post. So I'm going to click boosted post, and I'm going to get to this page. So here's my ad over here. This is the post that I already did. I don't even have to, I'm not going to change anything. This is just the way it is. The first thing I want to do is the goal. So Facebook has done this, you guys, I'm going to probably say millions of times now. They've sold several ads. So you can rely on Facebook to, it says, let Facebook select the most relevant goal based on your settings. So if you want to allow Facebook to help you decide what you want people to do with your ad, you can. Personally, I don't, because I want to know what's happening. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change that. So everything we're going to do, we're going to go through all these boxes so you can see what's what. So when I click change, it's going to come to this point. And it says, what goal do you want? Do you want to get more messages, more website visits, more engagement, more leads, more calls? So I'm going to say, I want more website visits. So let's click save. And we'll get to this point. The next thing you need to do is, what action do you want? Do you want them to book now, learn more, shop now, sign up, or call now? So I want to have, I think I left book now because that's just what I did. And then detailed targeting. Do you want to do demographics? Do you want to work on interests? Do you want to work on behaviors? So demographics are like education, employment, lifestyle, gender, things of that sort, age. Interests are, for me, I choose interests a lot. So in my particular case, I choose business and industry, entertainment, fitness and wellness, food and drink, hobbies and activities, shopping and entertainment, So I do a lot of different interests because my social media really covers the gamut of all that. And then behaviors are like, you spending money on, let me see here, you spending money on something just happened with my system. So let's see if this works here. Charitable donations, digital activities that you do, financial, mobile device users. So these behaviors are things that people actually do and get involved in. So that's a good one also, but I usually choose interests, and I did here. So my audience is here. I clicked this little pencil and I chose US, Makawao, Hawaii, and Maui County. I chose my ages 18 to 65, and then these are all the interests that I actually put in. So that's how that works. And then when you get to the point of looking at your audience, it gives you an idea of how many people you're going to get in front of. And that's pretty cool. All right. Sometimes big is not good because you might be spreading yourself too thin. So it's going to depend, and it's going to be testing on your end of how you want to go about that. But you make sure to save your audience because you can use that as a later date or on another ad. So depending on how many ads you do. And then these are these buttons here. So if you chose targeting, this is the button that you would have pushed. If you want to get your ad in front of the people who like your page, you can click that. If you want to get your ad in front of people who like your page and their friends, you can click that. Or if you want to search another area, you can do that also. And so just making sure that I don't have, oh, so my friend Ellen is trying to get on and she can't find the link. So I'm just not going to be able to help her on this one right now. So anyway, so you can click one of these buttons. Sorry for that. I just saw my phone move, and so I had to take a look at it. So whatever you're choosing here, if you look on the right-hand side, you're going to see the reach that you're going to have daily. So it looks like depending on all of this information of all the audience details, I would reach 208 to 602 people a day, and I can count on 3 to 14 links. I'd probably play with that a little bit more to get a better range here, but as you are changing these pieces, look over to the side and you'll see how many people you're going to get in front of. So next we're going to look at how much time you're going to spend on this ad and how much money you want to spend. So you choose the days, you choose you start date, end date, and then you choose, I want to do $20 total. So for the whole week, all I want to spend is $20. So I can be assured that I'm going to get in front of these people and have this many clicks. So that I'd probably try a little bit better, as I said, to have more numbers over here. So all I have to do is play with my audience a little bit, either widen my audience area or reduce it, whatever action I'm trying to get to. So anyway, you get to choose the time and you get to choose the duration. And then when you are set up, it's going to ask you for a payment method. I use PayPal for mine. If I want to change that and use another credit card, I can do that. But Facebook is really easy and works really well for just about anybody. And then we have, after you're done with doing the whole ad, you want to boost the post now. So when you do that, your ad is going to go to something called the review process. So as I said earlier, when we were talking about how ads work, when you put this ad in, there are several ads in front of you that Facebook has to already look at and approve. So they give an area of either 2 hours to 12 hours for your ad to be reviewed. Usually it's within a 2-hour period. It's pretty quick. But anyway, this is how it works. You'll see a pending review on it. And when that pending review is gone, you're going to get a email and a message on Facebook saying your ad has been approved. And then you'll see it in your news feed. So basically, that's how all of it works. It's pretty. I'm going to stop sharing right now. I'm going to keep sharing, but I'm going to open this up. So if we have any questions on any of that, I can go over that. Looks like I have 4 minutes left, so I went a little long on my time, but there's a lot to cover on advertising, and we just basically scratched the surface. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take one of your ads on Facebook, look for the boosted post, click boost, and then create your own audience. Play with it, see what numbers you get, see how many clicks you might get, see, just play with it. And you're going to see how to use interests, how to use demographics, how to use behaviors. And for me, it's fun because I like this stuff. But for you, just do it. You don't have to spend money. Just do it. Just pretend like you're going to be placing an ad. And then all of a sudden, if you get out, Facebook is like, are you leaving? Do you want to actually leave? And you say yes, and you just scoot out. You didn't pay anything, but you were able to play with it. And that's what I want you to do, because that's what's going to be most important for you. So anyway, did anyone have any questions? Yes, Brandy.
I just typed it in the Q&A, but so I have 2 questions actually. How long after, like if you, for me, I'm doing the creator studio, so I have mine all set up to go. Is there a certain time frame? Should you be boosting those as you're creating them? I mean, you said you should kind of see how long or how many clicks you've had. So is there like no more than 5 hours since it's gone live, or a day, or?
You can, I think you could play with it. I think the budget you're spending is small enough to work with it and see what that looks like. For you, Brandy, you have the visual aspect of your posts are going to be so intriguing that you would click just to see a bigger picture of the ad.
Okay.
Right. So you just play with it and see. There is no time frame. You can do it immediately. I just like, when I'm spending money, I like to know that something has worked.
Yes.
You know,
we want to see results. Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think that's important. That was a very good question.
Thank you.
Aisha, did you have anything?
Oh, yeah, just, okay. So we talked about it a little before. I have, my personal Facebook with a lot of people and my business Facebook with not so many people. So which would be best to promote an ad on?
Well, since you can't do an ad on your profile page, you can only do it on your business page. But there is a way to capture that audience from your friends. So you can take a look at playing with that, people who like your page. And I think you could also post it on, I don't know, there's not going to be a way for you to get it on your profile page. I think what I would do on the profile page is I would do an ad and maybe use it as a story on my Facebook page. And then that way it's going to show to all of your friends. And that's a good way to get around the business versus personal. So you might want to check that. Julia, do you have any thoughts on that?
No, but that's a really good thought. Can you share an ad to your personal page?
You can't share an ad to your personal page, but you can do a screenshot.
Oh,
You can share the story.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
maybe what I would do, is make a post with a screenshot and then share it on your personal page. Because then you could do a story and a post.
Right, exactly. And I think that's amazing. So there are so many tools that we have to play with now, and it's just getting the idea of how you want to progress, and once you start doing stories, it really is one of the best things that I do every day, because mine are funny. At least I think so. And so anyway, it just gives you another option, and people respond to that. And so whenever you get good responses, make sure you do more of that, whatever it is, because that's what we're craving. And so we'll go from there. How about anything else, you guys?
I have one more.
Yes.
So I saw that when you were doing your example, you were running your ad for 7 days. Is that what you should do? 7 days is normally the standard, or should you start with like 5 days during the work week? Or, I mean, what do you find works best, Nico?
I like at least, you can do it however you want, but I like at least 7 days, because it gives me the gamut of the actual day. So we all run our weeks differently.
Right.
Some of us do work during the week, some get weekends off, some work at night. So you can play with it. And one other thing that I didn't go into that I'm definitely going into this when we do the big class is that you can have, and I've tested, Facebook will allow you when you're doing an ad to help allow them to decide where it's going to land, whether it's going to be on Instagram, whether it's going to be on Facebook, whether it's going to be on Messenger, or whether it's going to be on WhatsApp.
Huh.
So I've done that with clients because some of my clients have a much older audience. So if I can get them on Instagram at the areas where Facebook thinks the people who are running the ads think that it would do the best on my page at that time, I'm going to try that just to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
And when you do that and you get the results for the advertising, you get to see the age groups, you get to see if they're men or women, you get to see what platforms they were on at what times. So you get a really good gauge. So I would play with it a little bit and see what does best. And just because, so for instance, you do create this ad and you do actually do it for 7 days and you think, oh my God, that's a keeper. And then you run it, you know, it's a chance just like everything else.
Right.
So you make sure that your budget is in control and make sure that you have an aim. If you don't have an aim, don't do it, just play with it. But if you do have an aim and you want people to click on something, then go for it. So it's 9:33, you guys. I'm going to scoot. I hope you enjoyed this class. I have couple other slides that I want to share. So I am doing this full hour class, and it is much more in depth on how to create those ads. So we'll be creating those ads as we go, and you can create the ads along with me as we are going. So it's more of like a workshop. I don't know if you've seen Maui Social Media School, but we're bringing it back. This is my first class. I haven't advertised it yet as Maui Social Media School. That's coming up in April, but it is coming back. Danielle, who is my co-creator, is going to be doing classes also. So you'll see more of these events happening. And it's a $95 class, but if you sign up early, then you can sign up, have it for $50. And I forgot to put the date on here. The early bird date, I think, what was my early bird date? March 20th.
I think it was the 18th.
18th. Yeah, the 18th. So anyway, if you want to do that, just go over to my website and you'll get to that. And then if you want to connect with me on any of my social pages, you know that you can find me. If you go to this YouTube channel, all these are live links. If you go to the YouTube channel, you can see all the coffee talks that I've done. So if you want to bone up on any other topics, you're more than welcome to. So
Awesome.
anyway, as usual, you guys, you've been a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to do this with you today. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. And text me if you're going to do ads, because I'll look for them. Okay.
Absolutely. Thanks,
All right,
Nico.
guys. All right.
Aloha.
So long. Thank you.
Aloha.
Bye, Aisha. So long.
Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.